coming up tonight on Primetime Local News. Students are honored at Lloyd Comp's awards ceremony. And we take a look at the start of the Christmas House in Lloydminster, plus our weekly edition of Beyond the Classroom.
Primetime Local News, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
LCHS held their academic awards yesterday afternoon. This is where students were recognized for achieving high marks in the school. Students from Lloyd Comp were given the awards for their hardworking efforts last year. These included honors, honors with distinction, and also subject awards. It takes hard work and determination to win awards like these.
Well, getting awards definitely helps, being recognized for it. I'm also hoping to go to a good university, so that keeps me motivated to have a good future, lots of options open.
There are many ways students can achieve these marks, whether it's staying late after classes to get extra help or studying in their free time. It's all about putting in a little bit of extra work to be successful.
Keep everything under control, stay organized, and make sure you have a clear idea of what you're really doing.
Make sure you stay on top of your work, ask questions if you don't understand, get extra help.
The message to the students after the ceremony was to continue working hard and achieving success. As we enter the second half of November, the Christmas season is already underway for some. In this week's Beyond the Classroom, we see how Holy Rosary is getting into the season with their annual Christmas concerts and how they're live streaming them to the community. Holy Rosary is proud to host their Christmas concerts, and for the second year are live streaming it to the public. The Catholic School Board wants to ensure that these shows are able for everyone to see.
Tonight is kind of the kickoff for Christmas season, so our senior band has their, grade 8, 9 and senior band have their band concert tonight, and that'll be the start of concerts going into Christmas. We also have Maya from Holy Rosary that is doing some live streaming for us. She started this project last year, and she'll be continuing this year doing all of the concerts live stream.
Maya Tupper, a grade 12 student at Holy Rosary, was key in the creation of the live streams, and she was excited to be a part of it again after last year's warm reception.
We bring this as an option for them to basically see their kids out up on the stage. I've gotten a lot of people come up to me and say, well, we're so thankful because, my parents in Italy didn't get to watch their grandkids. They've never seen a Christmas concert before, and they're so happy to be able to.
Holy Rosary is now gearing up for Maya to inevitably graduate, having a new wave of students excited to carry the tradition on.
Maya and her team do an incredible amount of work. We have Jason Whiting helping us. The Vic Juba's been fantastic. Kim Caparel also works with the kids, but kind of a team effort, and they've been doing a lot of training this year as Maya is a grade 12 student, so kind of her baby that she started last year, she'll be handing the reins over in the coming year to some new students.
And that's all for this week's edition of Beyond the Classroom.
Get answers to your questions about financial aid, admission requirements, tuition, and more during Late Hours with Lakeland. Stop by on Thursday, December 5th between 4:30 and 7 p.m.
A Lloydminster man is going all out with the lights and decorations once again this Christmas. Our Lane Hofford has more on the Christmas house as well as the good it does for the community.
Every year, Lloydminster's Jerry Frank goes all out for Christmas, turning his house into a light show of various inflatables and candy canes, featuring classic Christmas characters such as Santa Claus and the Grinch.
When I first did it, it was something like, I want to do something different, something like Lloydminster's never seen before. And so I started with it, and then it just kept growing every year. Like the first year we had, I think it was 14,000 lights. The second year we went to 28,000, then we were up to 40, and it just kept snowballing and stuff. And now the numbers are down a bit on the lights because we're using a different technology, but it's still a really good show.
The lights and decorations at the Christmas house are already enough to amaze anyone, but Frank says the experience is even better with sound. Cars looking at the house can tune their radios to get the full Christmas house experience.
We have a FM transmitter that we use, and it's 99.5, and it's just a little transmitter that we use just for our area, and so then we broadcast the sound to the local, like just this little area, so that when you park up, you just tune your radio in, and then you can hear the music, and then you can watch the lights. And
The Christmas House is about more than just a collection of festive lights and inflatables with jolly music behind it. Frank also accepts donations that go towards supporting important causes within Lloydminster.
every year we collect cash donations, and this year's recipients will be the Salvation Army Food Bank, because I know they definitely need some support this year. And as always, we go with Big Brothers Big Sisters as well, because they're a great organization to work with.
The Christmas House will officially open to the public this Saturday and will run throughout the holiday season until New Year's Eve. Frank says the opening night will be a fun way to kick off the start of Christmas.
Saturday night, 7 o'clock, lights come on for the first time, so we're encouraging people to come out just a little bit in advance so that they can, stake their claim to a spot. We'll have some bleachers set up across the street and everything, but lots of people will stand around. We're going to have Big Brothers Big Sisters here handing out hot chocolate and some pizza and some cookies from Co-op Marketplace and everything like that. So it's going to be a good evening.
The light show will commence this Saturday, November 23rd. Be sure to come out for some good food and good fun, as well as supporting some great local causes. Lane Hoffert, Primetime Local News.
Well, it might be getting colder, but at least we do have that holiday season and cheer to look forward to.
That's right. Yeah, they'll be starting that on Saturday. It looks like a pretty good time. Lots of lights and stuff. Maybe all that light will project a little bit of heat, and
hopefully so.
I'm hoping it does. It didn't feel like that last night.
Yeah, no, it looked like your ears definitely needed that last night.
Oh, they were a little bit cold there. You can see they're kind of red in the story there. But yeah, today not much warmer. In fact, it's gotten colder. It's minus 11. That wind chill actually making it feel like minus 17. We got clouds in Lloydminster today, and that wind is blowing at 11 kilometers an hour, and that's what's making it feel a little bit cooler than it already is today. A cold day, and more of those are sure to come as we progress into the Christmas season that's starting to approach here. Cold Lake and Edmonton are both minus 11, as well as Provost, Lac La Biche, Bonnyville, St. Paul, Vegreville, Marwayne, Vermilion, and Wainwright are all minus 12. It looks like Lloyd is minus 12 now too. And over in Saskatchewan, things are a little bit warmer, but just by 1 or 2 degrees. Isle La Crosse minus 10, as well as St. Walburg. Green Lake, Meadow Lake, North Battleford, and Macklin are all minus 9. And Cold Lake and Pierceland are both minus 11, as well as Maidstone. Now, tonight in North Battleford, it's going to get down to minus 12. It'll be a cloudy night. The wind won't be blowing quite as much, just 9 kilometers an hour, and only a 22% chance of precipitation. So it's looking like it will not snow tonight in North Battleford. Tomorrow, North Battleford, it's going to get up to minus 7. Partly sunny day. It will be cold out, but that sun will sure be nice. It'll maybe make you feel a little better. You'll be getting that vitamin D, and that wind is going to stay at 9 kilometers an hour. Tonight in Cold Lake, it's going to get down to minus 10. It's going to be a cloudy night and 13 kilometer an hour winds. That's sure to blow a little bit. I imagine it'll feel a little bit colder in Cold Lake. A lot of colds there, as you can see. And tomorrow in Cold Lake, it's going to get up to minus 7. It will be cold, but the clouds won't be out as much. They'll yield to the sun. That 11 kilometer an hour wind might make it feel a little bit cooler. But once again, that sun just might make your day just ever so a little bit better. And tonight in Lloydminster, it will be minus 11, so the temperature is going to stay about the same. It'll be a cloudy night and 9 kilometer an hour winds, so that wind will die down by a few kilometers an hour, maybe not too noticeable, but it will be slightly less windy. Tomorrow in Lloyd, 6 a.m., it'll be cloudy and minus 11. Noon, it's going to be mostly cloudy. It's going to warm up a little bit to minus 8, and at 6 p.m., the temperature is going to drop down to minus 9, and at midnight, it will be mostly clear, and minus 12 will be your temperature. And looking at the 3-day forecast, looks like things will warm up, but still won't be super warm. It's those winter kind of temperatures, early winter. Thursday will be mostly cloudy and cold with a high of minus 7. Friday, the high will be minus 9, and Saturday, the high will be minus 10 with an 88% chance of snow. We'll have more news after the break.
The Emerge Women in Agriculture Conference is taking place at the Lloyd X tomorrow. Our Thomas Wildman learned more from the co-creator of the event.
Today I'm joined by Kelly Sidoric, the co-creator of the Emerge Women in Agriculture Conference, which is coming up this week. And so thank you so much for being with me today, Kelly, to talk about this event.
Thanks for having me, Thomas.
And so you're the co-creator of the event. Talk to me a little bit about wanting to create a second event, because you guys have the conference in February, and that's been very successful for the past few years, but wanting to have another event here in November.
Yes, so co-creator along with Tara Weaver, we have KT and Company, and as you're referring to, that does we host the Inspiring Women's Conference in Lloyd in February, and we had an opportunity to be at an Advancing Women in Ag conference last March in Calgary, and on our way home from that, we decided, you know what, this really is something that we should do in Lloyd. We've talked about it for a long time. We both come from the ag world, so it really only makes sense. So we're very excited to be hosting our first one this week on the 21st.
And so what are some of the major speakers and things that are going to be discussed at this conference that you guys really wanted to have to create this second conference?
Well, first of all, we want to make sure that we're really being expansive and inclusive of women in ag, whatever way that may be, whatever role they play. You know, some people say, well, we're not really involved in the farm that much, but in one way or another, they all are. So our day begins with a panel of local speakers, and we have Josie Van Lent, who is a producer and had been with Extension and Lakeland College for many years. We also have Allison Weaver, a producer from just north of Lloyd, who also has her event planner and day planner. And then we also have Charlotte Wasiluk from Vermilion, they're very involved in direct marketing. They have a number of different enterprises, so we're super excited about that. That panel is going to be moderated by Billie Jean Miller, another local women in ag who's also an author and a speaker. Our day is emceed by Caitlin Dubin. She is the host of the Rural Woman podcast and does a lot of emceeing, some speaking with FCC, so we're really looking forward to that. Then we also have breakout sessions. We have Bluesette Campbell, who's coming to speak on goals and financial planning. We have Erica Stewart, who's going to be focusing more on livestock production. And then we have Rochelle Farrell, who's going to be focusing on the cropping side of things. And then the day concludes with our keynote speaker, who is Caitlin Kitsan with Do More Ag. So she's going to be speaking on the mental health in ag area.
And so this event is coming up right away. It's actually coming up tomorrow. So just tell me a little bit about, if people are interested in joining the event, where can they go to get signed up, as well as some of the other things that help make this event be possible for this November?
For sure. So KT and Company has a Facebook page, and there's also an Eventbrite link. I'm honestly not sure how long the Eventbrite link is open, but you can direct message either Tara or myself. We do have a few spots left. It is at the exhibition grounds, and registration is from 8:30 till 9. And then we're hoping the day will be done by 4:30. So we're really, really happy and proud of the support that we've got in the community for this. So Synovus is one of our supporters. We've also got support from the Canadian Agriculture Human Resources Council, CFGA, which is the Canadian Forage and Grasslands Association, Lloydminster and District Co-op. We have Synergy helping us as well, Farm Credit Corp, FCC. Then there's also UFA, Vical Agro, and Allison Weaver with her Navigate Planner, as well as the County of Vermilion River. So as you can tell, we've got a lot of support, which always helps to make it accessible for everybody to get to.
And then finally, we mentioned earlier that you guys have the Inspire Women in Agriculture Conference coming up in February. If people can't get to this one, how can they get involved with that upcoming one and make sure that they can get to the next conference so that they can become part of being a women in agriculture here in Lloydminster?
Yes, so just to clarify, the February is Inspiring Women's Conference very broadly. It doesn't specifically focus on agriculture. So when we first started that one many years ago, we wanted it to be, something that was of interest to women from all walks of life, no matter what their career or if they're entrepreneurs, stay-at-home moms. And that is coming up on February 6th, 2025. And if you follow us on our KT and Company Facebook page, you'll find all the links to follow for those ones. For that, our keynote speaker is Tricia Miltimore. And again, we have a lot of community support to help us hold that conference.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for all the information, Kelly, and we look forward to another great conference that you guys are hosting coming up this week.
Thanks, Thomas, for including me.
It's now time to take a look at your adorable animals in our pet picks of the day.
We want to see your pets. Send photos of your pet and their name to have them featured on Pet of the Day.
There are certain limitation periods couples must follow when going through the divorce and separation process. Stacey Comer has more in this week's edition of Healthy Thriving Family After Divorce.
It is that time of the week when Stephanie Dobson joins us. Stephanie is a lawyer, mediator, and online educator with Hankett Divorce Law and Mediation offices in Edmonton and Lloydminster. Stephanie, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks again, Stacey, as always.
Well, today's subject is limitation periods, specifically when it comes to divorce and separation. So first question, what do we mean when we say limitation periods?
That's a really good starting point, Stacey. It's a kind of a bit of a foreign word or more of a legalese, a limitation period. So what do we mean when we say limitation period? So that is a legally specified time frame during which a person can initiate legal proceedings. So once this limitation period expires, then that person might lose a right to file a claim. So it's really important that you pay attention to these limitation periods. Most people don't know what limitation periods are, so would be for specific types of things. So it's really important to discuss your situation as soon as possible with a lawyer. But in the context of divorce, it determines how long one has to file for divorce after separation or after the grounds for divorce arise. And then in the context of separation, so not divorce, but separation, it determines how long someone has to file other remedies besides the divorce.
Okay, well, let's start with the divorce side of things. Stephanie, what are the important limitation periods for that?
So in Alberta, there's 3 grounds for divorce, and that's established by the Divorce Act, and we've talked about this in previous episodes. So there's separation for at least 1 year, adultery, and cruelty. So that refers to mental or physical cruelty that makes it intolerable to continue living together. So let's first talk about the 1 year of separation. So it's a bit of, we'll call it a reversed limitation period, because the 1 year of separation ground for divorce is you may apply for the divorce as long as that 1 year separation has passed. So anytime after that 1 year, as opposed to a limitation, you can't apply until that particular period of time. So the grounds for divorce based on adultery or cruelty, mental or physical cruelty, you have 2 years from the date that you became aware of those grounds to file for divorce based on those facts. If you can't file based on those facts, then you can default back to the 1 year of separation. But it is really important to apply as soon as possible, to initiate those divorce proceedings as soon as possible, because if you delay, sometimes it can really complicate matters.
So what would some of the limitation periods be in towards the aspect of separation?
So there's other aspects of separation besides the divorce. So when we talk about divorce, there's what I call a capital D divorce. That's the thing that causes you to no longer be legally married spouses anymore. But the other aspects of separation are things like spousal support, property division, children issues, child support, that sort of thing. So let's first talk about the division of assets and debts. So there is a 2-year limitation under the Family Property Act, which is Alberta and Saskatchewan has the same, Family Property Act is in Saskatchewan, and the Family Property Act in Alberta as well. A spouse must make a claim for the division of property within 2 years of the divorce being finalized. So if you fail to do that, then you lose your ability to claim for marital property. For common law relationships, so that's relationships that are where you're not legally married, it's important to know that different rules may apply. So the limitation period for applying to divide up your property starts from the date of separation, and it's 2 years from the date of separation. Now, claims for spousal support or other types of claims also are subject to a 2-year from the date of divorce or the date of separation, which of course can overlap with property division claims, but it's really important to focus on that 2-year rule, generally speaking, and to talk to a lawyer as soon as possible.
All right, lots to think about, again, when it comes to these limitations as well. So thank you for the information, Stephanie, and we will chat with you again next week.
Yeah, thanks, Stacey.
Coming up after the break, our Lane Hoffert will have another look at our evening weather forecast.
Welcome back. Here's another look at your weather. Currently in Lloydminster, it's -12. That wind making it feel like -19. It's a cloudier day out, and that wind has gone up to 13 kilometers an hour. So a bit of a cooler day. You definitely want your toque and mitts on, and probably a winter coat instead of maybe just a bunny hug like you've been doing previously. You can see in central Alberta, it's cold all over. Athabasca -14, Whitecourt and Edson both -12, Edmonton -11, Jasper -6, Rocky Mountain House and Red Deer both -9, and Cold Lake -12. Over in Saskatchewan, just a little bit warmer. Meadow Lake and North Battleford as well as Melfort are all -9. Prince Albert -7 and Saskatoon -8. Moving up north, Uranium City -14, Stony Rapids -10, Wollaston Lake -12, La Loche and Buffalo Narrows -11, South End Reindeer -9, and Flin Flon -7. Over in Alberta, High Level and Peace River as well as Fort McMurray are all -16. Fort Chipewyan -14, Grand Prairie and Slave Lake are both -12. Banff is -8, Coronation -11, Calgary -10, Lethbridge -9, and Medicine Hat -7. Kindersley -9, Yorkton -7, Swift Current -10, Moose Jaw and Estevan both -11, and Regina is -12. Tonight in North Battleford, it's going to get down to -12. It'll be a cloudy night with 9-kilometer-an-hour winds. In Cold Lake, it's going to get down to -10. It'll be a cloudy night with 13-kilometer-an-hour winds. Probably make it feel a little bit cooler in Cold Lake. And tonight in Lloyd, it's going to get down to -11 with 9-kilometer-an-hour winds, and it will be a cloudier night in the border city. Now taking a look at temperatures throughout the region, Meadow Lake and Provost are both -10, both cloudier, and Isla Cross and Paradise Hill are both -11, Bonnyville -12, all of those areas experiencing some clouds. Overcast in Mirnam at -13, Pierceland, Unity, and Wainwright are all -11. Wainwright could be getting some snow, as well as Calgary, which is sitting at -12. Taking a look at your 7-day forecast, looks like it's a slope. It looks like it's going to get cooler throughout the week. Thursday, -7, cloudy and cold. Going to get down to -14. Friday, cold with clouds and sun, -9, going to get down to -12. Saturday, an 88% chance of a little snow at times, -10, and then it's going to get down to -14. Looks like we'll get some more snow on Sunday. Should be a snowy weekend ahead.
Yeah, it's inevitable. You know, we've gotten so far into November without really dealing with the snow. It's been, you know, here and there, but it's definitely coming now.
Definitely, yeah. Get those shovels ready. You're definitely going to need them.
And that is all the time we have today for Primetime Local News. Thanks so much for watching, and have a great night.